The rain was still fresh on the ground when I stepped behind the cafe, holding the small box I had saved for weeks to buy. I rehearsed the words in my head, telling myself Ayla would smile, hug me, and say she was proud of me. But when I heard laughter, her laughter, I stopped breathing. I walked closer, my heart shaking. Ayla? I called. She turned slowly, and beside her stood Ryan, the man everyone said was rich enough to buy silence. He smirked like he owned the whole street. "What are you doing here?" Ayla asked, her voice tight, like my presence annoyed her. "I came to surprise you," I said, lifting the box a little. My fingers felt numb. Who is he?" Ryan chuckled. "You didn't tell him?" Ayla crossed her arms. "It's not that serious." "I was going to." "Going to what?" I asked. My throat burned, and the air felt heavy. "Ayla, talk to me." She let out a deep sigh. "We're done, okay? I can't keep doing this broke boy relationship. I need someone who matches my dreams." The words punched the air out of me. Broke boy relationship? Ayla, I'm trying. I work every day. I thought you believed in me. I believed for a while, she said. But I grew up. You didn't. Ryan laughed again, brushing dust off his expensive coat. Don't make her feel guilty. She deserves better. I stared at Ayla. Is that true? You think I'm not enough for you? She looked me straight in the eyes, no shame, no fear. You're too small for the life I want. Ryan can give me what you can't. It's simple. Something inside me cracked. So I'm nothing to you. You're a good guy, she said, waving her hand like she was dismissing a waiter. Just not my future. My voice trembled. After everything we planned? After every promise? She stepped closer, whispering, dreams change. People change. Don't make this harder. I swallowed hard, trying to breathe. Then why didn't you just tell me? Because you're emotional, she snapped. You would have begged, and I didn't want drama. I'm not begging, I said, though my chest felt like it was collapsing. I just want the truth. Well, there it is, she replied. I choose him. Ryan placed his arm around her like he was claiming a prize. Come on, Ayla. We have reservations. She walked with him without looking back. Her heels clicked louder than the thunder rolling above us. My hands shook as I opened the tiny box. Inside was a necklace with her initials, simple, cheap, but paid for with nights of skipped meals. A gust of wind hit me, cold and sharp. I whispered, I wasn't enough, that's all it is. The rain started again, light at first, then harder. I didn't move. I couldn't. My mind screamed, but my voice barely came out. Why wasn't I enough? Their car door slammed. The engine roared. I watched the headlights fade, taking her away like she had never been mine at all. I dropped the box. It hit the ground with a dull sound, sinking into the wet dirt. My chest felt hollow. She left me, just like that. The rain soaked through my shirt, mixing with the heat of my tears. I wiped my face, angry at myself for crying. I should have known. I should have seen it. But I hadn't. Because I loved her. Because I thought love was enough. A bitter laugh escaped me. Too small for her dreams, I repeated. That's what I am. I clenched my fists. The shame burned deeper than the cold rain. But under that shame, something darker stirred, something sharp and bright. A fire. I'll remember this, I whispered. I won't stay small. I won't stay broken. The rain kept falling, but my heart felt strangely steady. Someday, I said softly, you'll look back at me. And you'll regret everything. That night, the version of me who begged for love died quietly in the storm. And the version who rose from it, he was someone Ayla would never see coming. I stayed under that streetlight a long time, listening to the rain and the echo of her words. Every second felt like a hammer hitting the last pieces of my old life. I kept replaying her tone, her smile when she looked at him, the way she talked to me like I was a weight she finally dropped. It hurt so much I could barely breathe, but in that pain, I felt something changing inside me. I told myself, this is the last night I feel this week. I didn't know how I would rise, or what I would become, but I knew I had to try. The morning felt heavier than the rain from last night. I walked into work with my head down, hoping no one would notice the redness around my eyes. But the whispers started the moment I stepped inside. "Did you hear?" someone muttered. "Yeah. Ayla left him for that rich guy." I swallowed hard and kept walking. My hands felt cold, but my face felt hot, like shame was burning through my skin. Sammy rushed toward me the second he saw me. "Bro, hey," he said, lowering his voice. "You good?" I forced a smile. "I'm fine." "You're not," he said. "Everyone heard what happened. People talk too much." "Let them talk," I said, though my voice cracked. "It doesn't matter." Sammy placed a hand on my shoulder. "I'm sorry, man. You didn't deserve that." I looked away, blinking fast. "She made her choice." He hesitated. "She insulted you, right?" "I heard she said you were too small," I cut in, the words stabbing deeper every time I repeated them. "Yeah." Sammy cursed under his breath. "That's cold. Ayla wasn't like this before." "She was," I said quietly. "I just refused to see it." Before he could answer, someone walked past us, whispering loudly on purpose, "Imagine getting dumped for money, couldn't be me." Sammy glared at them. "Ignore them." "I'm trying," I said. "It's hard." We walked toward the back office, and that's when I noticed someone standing nervously by the door, a girl clutching a notebook to her chest. She looked up at me with wide eyes before looking down again. Sammy nudged me. "Oh, that's Lena. New intern. Don't scare her with your depressed face." "I'm not trying to," I muttered. As we passed her, she stepped forward hesitantly. Can I talk to you?" I stopped. "Me?" She nodded. "Just for a minute." Sammy raised a brow. "I'll go handle the front then." He left us alone. Lena twisted her fingers around her notebook. I heard what happened. "I'm sorry." I sighed. "Thanks. I'll live." She hesitated again before whispering, I think I should tell you something. You can get mad at me if you want." "What is it?" Her eyes darted around. "I saw Ayla with Ryan before. A few times." My stomach dropped. "Before? How long before?" She swallowed. "Maybe 2 months." 2 months. My voice echoed louder than I wanted. She was cheating for 2 months. "I don't know for sure," Lena said quickly. "Maybe they were just talking. But they looked close. I didn't know how to tell you. I didn't want to hurt you or get involved in your relationship." "I get it," I said, though the words barely made it out. My chest tightened. "I appreciate you telling me now." She lowered her head. "I'm really sorry. It's not your fault." My voice was shaking again. It was mine for trusting her. Lena looked at me with this soft, almost worried expression. "No, it's not your fault." But I couldn't believe that, not yet. I walked past her and headed straight for the storage room. The moment I shut the door behind me, everything fell apart. I pressed my back against the shelf, breathing hard. 2 months, I whispered. She was with him for 2 months. The betrayal hit me like a punch. All those nights she said she was tired, all those evenings she told me she had to study, all those times she ignored my calls. She wasn't busy. She wasn't tired. She was choosing him. My hands shook as I grabbed my hair. I was nothing to her, I whispered. Just, nothing. The room felt smaller, the air too thick to breathe. I slid down to the floor, covering my face with both hands. Everyone knew except me, I said. Everyone. I didn't know how long I stayed like that, but the anger slowly rose through the heartbreak. A different kind of fire, darker than last night, sharper. She didn't reject me because I was poor, I said to myself. She rejected me because she never loved me. I stared at my trembling hands. I won't let this happen again. I won't let anyone humiliate me again. The words tasted like steel. I will rise, I whispered. Even if it kills me. The pain didn't fade, but something inside me hardened. Something strong. Something dangerous. When I finally stood up, my heart still hurt, but it wasn't breaking anymore. It was changing. When I handed in my resignation letter, Sammy stared at me like I had lost my mind. You're quitting? After everything that just happened? Yes, I said, tightening my grip on the paper. I need to do something different. Bro, this is not the time to take risks, he argued. You need stability. I need change more than stability, I replied. If I stay here, I'll stay stuck. Sammy sighed loudly. You're hurting. Don't make decisions from pain. I'm not, I insisted. I can't breathe in this place anymore. He studied my face for a long moment, then placed a hand on my shoulder. If you really want this, then I hope it takes you somewhere better. Thanks, I whispered. I hope so too. Walking out of that building felt like stepping out of a cage, scary, cold, but strangely freeing. That night, I sat in my tiny room staring at my phone, scrolling through courses I could barely afford. Coding. App development. UX design. Tech, maybe this is it, I whispered. I clicked on a beginner course and saw the price. This is stupid, I muttered. I barely have money left. But I pressed, enroll anyway. When I walked into the class for the first time, a woman with sharp eyes and a calm but commanding presence greeted me. You must be the new student, she said. Name? I'm. She raised a brow. Speak clearly. I'm here to learn, I said, straightening up. My name is, well, you can call me whatever you want. I just need to start. She smirked slightly. Confidence comes later. I'm Ms. Farah. Sit. I sat in the front row, hands shaking. She began the class by saying, Tech doesn't reward the lazy. If you're here to pass time, leave now. I swallowed hard. Her eyes landed on me again. What about you? Why are you here? I hesitated, then said, because I want to build something. I want a new life. She nodded slowly. Good. Pain can be a powerful teacher if you let it. Her words hit deeper than she knew. After class, she walked up to me. You struggled today. I know, I said. I'm trying. Trying is good, she replied. But trying without discipline means nothing. Can you commit to this? Yes, I said without thinking. She studied me with those sharp eyes again. All right. Then expect to be pushed. Push me, I said. I need it. From that night on, my routine became brutal. I worked delivery jobs in the morning, attended class in the afternoon, and studied until dawn. I built tiny apps that barely worked, then rebuilt them until they did. Every time I wanted to quit, I remembered Ayla's voice saying I was too small. And I whispered back to myself, not anymore. One weekend, while grabbing water during a break, I heard two former coworkers chatting near the store I delivered to. Did you hear? Ayla moved in with Ryan. Already? That was fast. Yeah, but people say he's controlling. Shouts a lot. Doesn't let her go out alone. My heart tightened, but not the way it used to. One of them added, she doesn't look happy. But hey, she wanted luxury. I guess luxury comes with rules, the other laughed. I walked away before they noticed me. A strange mix of emotions welled up, anger, pity, satisfaction, confusion. I sat on my bike and whispered, why do I still feel anything at all? But then I closed my eyes and breathed out. Focus. Rise. Don't look back. That night in class, Miss Farah leaned over my desk after seeing me stuck on a problem. You're distracted. I'm fine, I lied. People who are fine don't stare at a screen for 10 minutes without typing, she replied. What's on your mind? Life, I said. She crossed her arms. Life will always be loud. You need to learn to work through the noise. I'm trying. She nodded. And you're improving. Your logic is cleaner. Your speed is better. Keep going. Do you really think I can do something with this? I asked quietly. She looked me straight in the eyes. If you stay disciplined, yes. I've seen students rise from worse. Something warm spread through my chest, hope. Thank you, I whispered. Don't thank me yet, she said. Show me results. As I walked home that night under the dim streetlights, I felt something shifting again inside me, not anger, not sadness, but strength. Small, fragile, but real. I'll rise, I whispered to myself. I'll become someone they can never laugh at again. And for the first time in weeks, I believed it. I stared at the blinking cursor on my laptop, my eyes burning from exhaustion. Why isn't this working? I whispered, rubbing my temples. My body felt weak, too many late nights, too many delivery shifts, too many moments where quitting felt easier than breathing. My bank balance was barely alive. I wasn't sure if I was either. A knock on my door snapped me out of my thoughts. Bro, you look like you fought a truck, Sammy said as he stepped inside, holding a cup of tea. I probably lost too, I muttered. He laughed and handed me the cup. You're doing too much. I have to, I said, my voice cracking more than I wanted. If I slow down, everything falls apart. Sammy's expression softened. You're not alone. Stop carrying this like you're the only one in pain. I looked away. It's different for me. I can't forget the way Ayla looked at me, like I was nothing. Silence filled the room for a moment, broken only when my phone buzzed. It was a message from Lena. Are you free for a meeting? I have an idea. I sighed. Lena again. She works harder than all of us. She believes in you, Sammy said, nudging me. You should listen. I didn't reply, but a part of me knew he was right. Later that evening, I met Lena at a small cafe. She was already seated with her laptop open, her hair slightly messy from working all day. You okay? She asked softly when she saw my face. I'm functioning. That means no, she said bluntly. Sit. I sat across from her, and she immediately turned the laptop toward me. Look at this, she said. A startup competition. Cash prize, mentorship, investors. I blinked. Lena, no. I'm barely keeping up with my coursework. You can do this, she insisted. You're good. Better than you think. I shook my head. I don't even believe that. She leaned closer, her eyes warm. Then borrow my belief. I have enough for both of us. Something inside me softened. Why are you helping me this much? Because you don't deserve what happened, she said quietly. And because I know what it feels like to be underestimated. Her honesty hit me harder than I expected. Just think about it, she added. I did more than think about it. I couldn't stop thinking about it. For the next 2 weeks, Lena and I worked late into every night. The cafe became our unofficial office. She would push her hair behind her ear, explaining a complex concept, and I would try not to stare too long. One night, while debugging a problem, she sighed loudly. "You're overthinking again," she said. "Because I don't want this to fail." "It won't," she said firmly. "You're brilliant." My heart stuttered. No one had called me brilliant before. "Lena," I hesitated. "Why do you believe in me so much?" She smiled gently. "Because I see your fight. And I know where fights like that lead." I didn't reply. But something in my chest shifted, quiet, unfamiliar, warm. The day of the competition arrived faster than I expected. My hands were shaking as we waited backstage. "You're sweating," Lena teased. "I might pass out." "You won't," she said. "And if you do, I'll drag your unconscious body on stage and let everyone know you worked yourself to death for this." A laugh escaped me, the first real one in days. "Thanks. I guess."
"I've got your back," she said. "Always." Her words were a shield around my heart. When our turn came, the lights felt too bright. My voice trembled at first, but as I explained our prototype dreams, something inside me clicked. I felt a live dot when we finished. The room burst into applause. Real applause. Lena smiled at me like she already knew we'd won. Then a tall man with silver hair approached us. "Impressive work," he said, extending his hand. "I'm Mr. Kaleem. I'd like to discuss funding your startup." My breath caught. Funding a chance. A future, we'd be honored, Lena said, nudging me to speak. I swallowed hard. "Thank you, sir. We won't disappoint you," he smiled. "I'm counting on that." When he walked away, Lena grabbed my arm. "We did it." I laughed, overwhelmed. "Lena, this changes everything." "I know," she said softly, "and you deserve every second of it." For the first time in months, something inside me finally stopped. Bleeding. Maybe this was the moment everything changed. Maybe this was the beginning of who I was meant to become. The apartment we rented as our office was barely the size of my old bedroom. The walls were cracked, the Wi-Fi was slow, and the ceiling fan made a sound like it would fall on us any minute. But to me, it felt like the beginning of a kingdom. I stood in front of the small whiteboard, marker in hand. "All right," I said, trying to sound confident. "We have 3 clients waiting for prototypes. Sammy, you handle back. Lena, UI, and marketing. I'll take system architecture." Sami saluted dramatically. "Yes, sir. Captain of the Broken Fan Kingdom." Lena laughed. "Ignore him. You're doing great. Keep going." I cleared my throat, but her smile lingered in my mind longer than it should have. When the meeting ended, Sami went to make chai while Lena and I sat beside each other reviewing designs. She leaned closer to my shoulder. "You're leading us well," she said. "I don't know," I admitted quietly. "Half the time, I feel like I'm pretending." "You're not pretending," she said firmly. "You're evolving." I looked at her. "You always make me sound better than I am." "That's because," she said softly, "you refuse to see who you really are." Weeks passed, and the impossible began happening. We finished projects faster. Clients sent referrals. A local business magazine emailed us for an interview. My phone kept buzzing with new inquiries. Still, late at night, when everyone else had gone home, I would sit alone in the dim light of the apartment, staring at the lines of code, hearing Ayla's voice echo in my skull. "What future? You can't even take care of yourself." "Some wounds don't fade," they whisper. One night, while I was rewriting an entire module, Sami walked in unexpectedly. "Why are you still here?" he asked. "It's 2 a.m. I had to fix this bug." "You're lying," he said, dropping into the chair opposite me. "You're scared." I paused. Maybe I am. He leaned forward. You're scared of being that same guy she threw away. His words hit harder than I wanted to admit. You're not that guy anymore, he said. Look around you. You built something. I stared at the messy room wires everywhere. Coffee cups, whiteboards full of ideas. Maybe I had. The next morning, I arrived early and found Lena already there, hair tied up, typing quickly. You didn't sleep? I asked. She shook her head. We have a pitch meeting today. I wanted everything perfect. Lena, you don't have to carry this much. She looked up at me, her eyes tired but steady. I'm not carrying anything alone. We're in this together. Still, I murmured, I don't want you burning out. She smiled faintly. Then promise me something. What? That you'll stop punishing yourself for who you used to be. Her words went straight through me. I swallowed. I don't know how. Then let me remind you every day, she whispered. By month 3, everything exploded this time, in a good way. A multinational company reached out. 2 investors were considering joining us. We upgraded from a tiny apartment to a shared workspace. My name started appearing in articles, forums, LinkedIn posts. One afternoon, while we were reviewing partnership proposals, Sami burst into the room holding his phone. Brew, he said, you need to hear this. What happened? It's about Ayla and Rayon. I stiffened. What about them? He hesitated, then sighed. Rayon's been cheating on her. Apparently for months. He drained her savings too. I expected pain, anger, bitterness, something. But all I felt was distance. Like I was watching a story that didn't concern me anymore. Oh, I said simply. That's it. Sami asked, what else should I say? I turned back to my laptop. Her choices built her destiny. Sami nodded slowly. You've changed. Maybe, I whispered. I finally started becoming myself. Later that night, while packing up, Lena walked beside me. You heard about Ayla? She asked Yang. Does it bother you? I thought about it for a moment. No, honestly, I don't feel anything. Lena studied me quietly. That means you're healing. Or maybe, I said, karma just did what I couldn't. She smiled faintly. Either way, you're rising. I looked at her, really looked at her, this woman who had believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. Lena, I said softly, we're going to build something the world remembers. She held my gaze. With you leading, I don't doubt it. For the first time in my life, I felt it, not hope, not revenge, but a sense of becoming a name the world would remember. I had just finished a meeting and stepped outside the office to breathe, when I heard someone whisper my name. ... It's single quotes. Really, you? My entire body froze. I turned slowly, and there she was, Zala. She looked nothing like the girl who once stood above me. Her makeup was smudged, her hair dull, her clothes wrinkled. Her eyes weren't sharp anymore, they were scared. Ayla, I said quietly. She tried to smile. It's me, I swallowed, steadying myself. What are you doing here? I needed to see you, she said, stepping closer. Please, just don't walk away. I'm not walking away, I said. I just want to know why you're here. She bit her lip, shaking slightly. Everything is ruined, okay, Rayon? He wasn't who I thought he was. I crossed my arms. I told you that night. You didn't listen. I know, she whispered. But I'm listening now. Silence stretched between us until she took a shaky breath. He hurt me, she said. Emotionally, financially, everything. He cheated, used me, manipulated me. I lost my savings. My parents won't let me come home. I have nowhere else to go. Guilt tried to rise in me, but something stronger pushed it down. I spoke gently. I'm sorry you went through that. She looked up quickly, hope lighting her face. Then, can we talk, please? Just like before. Ayla, no, wait, she said desperately, stepping closer. I know I messed up. I know, I said cruel things. But I was stupid. I didn't realize what I had until you were gone. Her voice cracked. I miss you, she whispered. I miss what we had. Old memories flickered, holding her hand on cold nights, laughing over cheap food. Dreaming of a future I thought we'd build together, but the memories didn't hurt anymore. They felt distant. Ayla, so much has changed, I said. I can change too, she insisted. I swear. I'll be better. I'll support you, help you, anything. I need you back. Then she reached out and grabbed my hand like she used to, like she still owned that right. For a second, something inside me twisted. But then a deeper truth settled over me. I slowly pulled my hand away. Her face fell. Why? Why did you do that? Because, I said calmly, I'm not the man you left. She blinked. What does that mean? It means the person I used to be, the one who waited for you, begged for your love, that version of me, is gone. Her eyes glistened. But I still care. Doesn't that matter? I shook my head. You cared when it was convenient. You loved me when I fit the life you imagined. And the moment I didn't, you walked away. I was wrong, she whispered. I know, I said, but that doesn't change anything. She stepped toward me again. We can start over. We can fix this. Please, just give me one chance. I can't, I said softly. Why? She begged. Because you're not the girl I loved anymore. Tears slid down her cheeks. You really mean that? I do. She stared at me like she was seeing a stranger. Maybe she was, I thought. She choked. I thought I could still reach you. You can't, I said gently. Not anymore. A long silence followed. She wiped her tears, breathing shakily. So that's it, she whispered. That's it, I said. She looked around at the office building behind me. The security guards, the staff walking in and out, my company. My world. You really changed, she said in a hollow voice. I had to. Her gaze softened painfully. I don't know who you've become. I exhaled slowly. You'll know soon enough. She took a step back, eyes trembling. I never thought you'd be the one rejecting me. I didn't reply. Some truths don't need words. After a moment, she turned around and walked away slowly, like every step hurt. I watched her until she reached the end of the street. She didn't look back. For the first time, neither did I. I wasn't cruel. I wasn't vengeful. I was just done. And the strangest thing, I felt lighter than I had in years. The morning of the grand opening felt unreal. As I stood in front of the glass doors of our new headquarters, I whispered to myself, I made it. I actually made it. Reporters were already waiting outside. Cameras pointed at the building like it was some new miracle. Sami slapped my back. Bro, stop staring like a lost tourist. This is your day. I laughed softly. I know, I'm just taking it in. Lena stepped beside me, holding a clipboard. You earned this. Don't downplay it. I'm trying, I said. It still feels strange. We walked in together. The marble floor reflected the bright lights. The air smelled new, expensive, like a future I never thought I'd touch. Workers clapped as we passed. Someone called out, Sir, congratulations. And the word sir almost made me look for someone else. I turned to Sami. Can you believe this? He grinned. I believed it before you did. Reporters gathered around us as we reached the center of the lobby. One of them raised her mic. How does it feel to open one of the fastest growing tech companies in the city? I cleared my throat. It feels humbling. I came from nothing. I worked small jobs, struggled to pay rent. But today proves that hard work pays off. Another reporter asked, who inspired you the most during this journey? I glanced at Sami and Lena. The people who stayed when I had nothing, and the people who pushed me to grow. Lena's cheeks turned pink. Sami smirked. We'll charge you for using us in motivational speeches, he whispered. I chuckled and continued the interview. After a few minutes, security informed us more guests had arrived, business leaders, investors, people who now said my name with respect. I walked them through the building, pointing out the departments, the workspaces, the vision behind everything. Every step felt like a quiet victory over the past. Then, just as we headed toward the ribbon-cutting area, a security guard rushed up to me. Sir, you should come outside. I frowned. Why, what's wrong? He hesitated. There's someone waiting for you. I didn't understand until I stepped outside. There she was, Ryla, standing right at the entrance, wearing the same broken expression from the last time I saw her, but worse. Her eyes were red, her hands shook, and when she saw me, she covered her mouth like she couldn't breathe. "Oh God," she whispered. "It really is you." My heart slowed. "Why are you here, Ayla?" She took a step forward. "I didn't know. I swear I didn't know this company was yours." Reporters instantly turned their cameras toward us. Ayla's voice broke. "I heard everyone talking about the owner. The genius who built all this. The man who rose from nothing. I didn't think for a second it would be you," Sami whispered behind me. "This is going to get messy." Lena touched my arm. "Do you want us to pull the cameras away?" I shook my head. "No. Let them record." Ayla looked at the crowd, then back at me. Tears streamed down her face. "Please, please talk to me. I need to explain." "There's nothing to explain," I said. "There is," she cried. "I made the biggest mistake of my life. I left you for someone who destroyed me. And you became someone I don't even recognize." I kept my voice steady. "That's what happens when pain turns into purpose." Her lips trembled as she reached for me. "Can we please go somewhere private? Just for a minute." "I can't do this like no," I said quietly. She froze. "Why not?" "Because this is where you left me," I said. "In front of people. In front of the world. So this is where you hear my answer." Reporters leaned closer. Cameras zoomed in. Even the guests went silent. Ayla shook her head. "Please don't do this to me. I'm already broken." "I'm not trying to break you," I said softly. "I'm just being honest," she sobbed. "I regret everything. I regret leaving you. I regret choosing him. I regret hurting you. I swear, if I could go back, but you can't," I said. She covered her face. I know, but just look at me. Please." I looked at her. The girl who once walked away like I was too small, now stood in front of my company's doors, crying like the world had collapsed. A strange calm filled me. "You left me," I whispered. "Not because I was bad, not because I did anything wrong. You left me because you thought I wasn't enough." She cried harder. "You were enough. I just couldn't see it. And now?" I asked. She swallowed. "Now you're the one standing above me." I nodded. "Yes. But not because I wanted revenge. I just wanted to grow." Her voice dropped to a whisper. Is there any chance for us?" "No," I said. Her knees buckled slightly. Sami stepped forward, but I raised a hand for him to stop. Ayla looked at me with trembling eyes. "Why?" "Because you left me for being small," I said gently. "And now, you're the one looking up." A collective gasp moved through the crowd. Ayla's tears fell like rain. She covered her face, shaking, unable to speak. I turned toward the ribbon-cutting ceremony. "Let's continue." As I walked away, the cameras stayed on her, and just like that, karma completed its circle. 3 days after the grand opening, I was leaving my office when I heard someone call my name. "Congratulations," a familiar voice said. I turned slowly. Ryan. He stood there in an expensive suit, but for the first time, he didn't look confident. His smile was tight, forced. Jealous, I folded my arms. "Why are you here?" He shrugged lightly. "Just wanted to show there's no hard feeling between us." "No hard feelings?" I laughed. "You stole my girlfriend and bragged about it. Now you're here pretending we're friends." His jaw clenched. "Look, man, the past is the past. For you maybe," I said. "But not for me. I lived through that pain alone." He stepped closer. "You should be grateful. If Ayla didn't leave you, you wouldn't be where you are." "You're right," I said calmly. "Her betrayal pushed me. But that doesn't mean you get any credit." His fake smile twitched. "You've changed." "No," I replied. "I grew." "There's a difference." For a moment, he didn't speak. Then he offered his hand. "Let's forget everything." I stared at it. "You can keep your handshake, Rayon." His eyes darkened. "You think you're above me now?" "No," I said softly. "I'm just above who I used to be." He stepped back, clearly irritated. Fine, enjoy your little empire. I will, I said. And I built it without stepping on people. He didn't respond. He just turned and walked away, his shoulders stiff, anger leaking through every step as soon as he disappeared. My phone buzzed. Ayla. Again. Another long message popped up on my screen. Please, just one chance. I know I messed up. I know I hurt you. I can be better. We can start over. I closed the screen without replying. A minute later, another message came. Then another dot. By the 10th one, I sighed and put my phone in my pocket. Sami saw me from the hallway. Still messaging you? Yeah, I said. And I'm done reading her words. He nodded. You deserve peace now. I do, I whispered. Later that evening, I sat in the break room, staring at the city lights outside the window. The glass reflected a version of me. I barely recognized a man who survived heartbreak, poverty, humiliation, and came out stronger. Lena walked in quietly. You're still here. I needed a moment, I said. My head's full. She sat beside me. Is it Allah? Part of it, I admitted. Part of it is Rayon. And part of it is me trying to understand everything. She leaned forward. Talk to me. I don't feel angry anymore, I said. Not the way I used to. It's like something inside me finally let go. That's good, she said. It feels strange, I whispered. Like I've been carrying a heavy chain for years, and someone finally unlocked it. She gave a small smile. Maybe you unlocked it yourself. I looked at her. Maybe. She touched my hand softly. You know, you didn't rise because you wanted revenge. You rose because you wanted to be better. I chuckled. You always know exactly what to say. That's because I watched you fight for yourself, she replied. Even when you didn't believe you could. Her words settled deep in me. Thank you. For everything. You don't have to thank me, she said. I just believed in who you were becoming. Her eyes were warm, steady, honest to everything my past wasn't. I exhaled slowly. Lena, I think I'm finally free. You are, she said softly. And now you get to choose who you want to be. I looked out at the glowing city again. For the first time since that painful night, my chest felt light. I'm free, I whispered to myself. And for the first time in a long time, I truly was. Months passed faster than I imagined. Our company grew beyond anything I could have pictured. Offices expanded, clients multiplied, and investors lined up for meetings. People who once ignored me, the same ones who mocked my clothes, my car, my apartment, they suddenly wanted to meet me, shake my hand, maybe even become friends. But I stayed grounded. I didn't need their validation. One evening, after a long day of back-to-back meetings, I turned to Lena. I want to take a walk. Somewhere. Familiar? She raised an eyebrow. Familiar. The old neighborhood. Where it all began, I said, voice low. She nodded. Lead the way. As we walked, memories pressed against me like wind. The cracked pavement, the small grocery where I worked part-time, the narrow streets I ran through after school, it all felt smaller now. Almost like a memory in a photograph. I stopped in front of my old apartment building. The one I shared with so many fears and so little money. I used to think I'd never leave this place behind, I murmured. You did, Lena said softly. Squeezing my hand. I did, I said, voice catching. And I didn't just leave it. I left the person I was. A few neighbors glanced at us as we stood there. I could almost hear their unspoken thoughts. Look at him now. I shook my head. It doesn't matter what they think. You've come so far, Lena said, her eyes bright. I'm proud of you. Her words struck deeper than any praise from a stranger, any headline, any investor's compliment. I looked down at her hand holding mine, and something in my chest shifted. Thank you, I whispered. I think I'm finally seeing it. All the pain, all the struggle, it wasn't meaningless. It made me who I am. You're not just surviving anymore, she said. You're living. I smiled. A genuine smile that felt different from the nervous, anxious ones I used to wear. I used to think love hurt, I said slowly. I thought it destroyed me. left me empty. Lena tilted her head, curious. And now? Now, I said, feeling the truth settle in me, love heals. Real love doesn't tear you apart. It builds you, protects you, pushes you to become better. She smiled, leaning closer. I'm glad I could be part of that journey. I'm more than glad, I said softly. You believed in me when no one else did, Evan, when I didn't believe in myself, and that's worth more than all the money, all the fame, all the success. We stood there in silence for a moment, the city lights painting our shadows on the street. I could feel the weight of the past lifting. No more regrets. No more ghosts. I never thought I'd get here, I admitted. I never imagined I'd feel this. Free. You deserve it, Lena said. Every bit of it, I exhaled, letting a deep breath escape my lungs, as if I was finally emptying every ounce of fear, every trace of shame. I'm ready for whatever comes next, I said, voice firm, yet calm. And I'll be by your side. She replied, giving my hand another reassuring squeeze. I nodded, a quiet smile on my lips. I know, for the first time in my life, I wasn't looking back. I wasn't haunted by what I lost or what hurt me. The past no longer controlled me. I walked forward, Lena's hand in mine, the future open, bright, and full of possibilities. And for the first time, I realized this feeling of peace, of strength, of love was everything I had been fighting for all along. I walked away from that old neighborhood, smiling, ready for the life I never expected, and finally, fully free. I sat at my desk long after the office had emptied. The city outside glowed like a million tiny promises. I opened a blank document on my laptop and typed a single line, Dear Past. I paused. Should I really do this? Not for anyone else, not for Ayla, not for Rayon, not for Sami or Lena. This was for me. I began typing, Thank you. I laughed softly, shaking my head. Thank you, I whispered to the empty room. For all the pain, all the humiliation, you actually helped me. The words flowed. Thank you for breaking me, for letting me feel small, lost, worthless, because it forced me to rise, to fight, to become someone I never thought I could be. I stopped, staring at the screen. My fingers hovered over the keyboard. I can't believe I'm thanking you. But it's true. Thank you for every sleepless night, every moment of doubt. Thank you for showing me who I wasn't, who I could become. I exhaled, feeling lighter with each word. I forgive you, not because I was weak, but because I'm stronger. I don't need to carry your weight anymore. I smiled faintly and typed the final line. This is not the end. It's just the beginning. I closed the document and saved it in a folder labeled Reminders. A reminder not to forget, not to return to who I was. I stood and walked to the rooftop of our headquarters. The wind was cool against my skin. Below, the city moved and sparkled. Oblivious to the battles I had fought to reach this point, Lena appeared beside me silently. Thinking again, she asked softly. Always, I admitted, but this time, it's good, peaceful. She glanced at the skyline. You've come a long way. I have, I said. And it's strange. I feel like the boy I used to be, the one who begged to be loved, is finally gone. He's gone, Lena, and I'm here. Me. You earned this, she said. Not because anyone else gave it to you, but because you fought for it. I smiled at her. Exactly. Not for Ayla, not for revenge. For me, and now, I can breathe. I closed my eyes, taking a deep breath, letting the air fill me completely. I made it, I whispered. The city lights reflected in my eyes, each one like a tiny victory, a step I had taken to get here. I felt the weight of the past lift entirely. For the first time, I wasn't defined by loss, betrayal, or anger. I was defined by my growth, my choices, my strength. Lena touched my shoulder gently. So, what now? I opened my eyes and smiled at her. Now, we build the future. Not haunted by what happened. Not waiting for anyone's approval. We live, we create, we thrive. She nodded, her eyes reflecting pride, trust. and something warmer I didn't need to name. I looked out once more, whispering to myself, I'm free. I'm really free. And for the first time, I felt it. The boy who once begged to be loved had vanished. The man who earned his place in the world stood in his place strong, unshakable and ready. This wasn't the end of my story. It was just the beginning.